I'm Anton Rojas, and welcome to The Score, where we tackle the hottest and trending topics in sports. The semi-final cast of the Premier Volleyball League Season 2 Open Conference is set. Creamline, Ateneo Motolite, Bangko, and Petrogas have secured their spots in the best-of-3 semis. And here with us to tackle the next round of the Open Conference are our guest analysts, UAAP legends, Andrew Mulyakanda and Doc AJ Pareja. Let's start first with the matchup between Creamline and Petrogas. And Doc, welcome to our new set here on The Score.
Nice to be here.
Oh, first time?
Yeah, fresh start for us. We're talking about volleyball for the very first time in the remastered, as Doc AJ would like to call, edition of The Score. So, the preliminary round is not done yet because tomorrow there are games that will be happening in Batangas. But assuming Creamline and Bangko Perlas win their respective matches tomorrow, Creamline will end up as the #1 seed, and then Bangko Perlas will be the #2 seed. Let's talk about the 1-4 matchup. Creamline versus Petrogas. Creamline, of course, the reinforced conference champions. Obviously, they are the favorites in this matchup. But what do they need to do to prevent an upset from happening?
Well, I think for one of the things that we have observed with Creamline is that they have heavily relied on their ace spiker, which is Alyssa Valdez. She's been very effective, no doubt about that, but this overdependence sometimes results to predictability. So that's something that they would need to avoid going into the Final Four.
Alyssa Valdez, of course, is averaging 20.1 points per match, and barring any injuries or unfortunate events that happen tomorrow, she will surpass Myla Pablo and win another Best Scorer award. For you, Doc AJ, aside from what Ann just mentioned, what do the Creamline Cool Smashers have to do to win and prevent an upset against Petrogas?
Yeah, I'm with Ann with that there has been a tendency to over-rely on Alyssa Valdez. We see it in the international setting that sometimes there are really standout players in a team that really dominates a match, but it doesn't happen frequently. It's always a collective effort in a team. So for Creamline not to be upset by Petrogas Angels, who's really proving themselves to be the dark horse in this competition, I think the most crucial players who should step up for Creamline are the middles. You know, Risa Sato hasn't seen much action for Creamline, and Risa Mandapat, although very athletic, it's still not her natural position. On the other hand, Petrogas Angels, Cherry Nunag is showing why she's one of the top recruits of the Gas Angels in the middle position, and she dismantled the Bangko Perlas in their last encounter. So if Cherry Nunag continues to dominate in the middle, it will be a problematic situation for Creamline.
All right, so since you mentioned Cherry Nunag, let's shift our attention to the Petrogas Angels. They're coached by Coach Jerry Yee, who is known for ending UP's 12-year Final Four drought 2 seasons ago. They joined the reinforced conference, did not make it to the semifinals. This year, they're finally advancing, they're improving. Who are the players to watch out for here in this Petrogas squad of Coach Jerry, aside from Cherry Nunag that Doc AJ mentioned?
Well, I think Petrogas initially had a rough start, and then, we know that. But key names are actually popping up every time we would watch their games. Apart from Nunag, you'll hear Sabete.
Yeah, Jonah.
Walwalwa is also really emerging as one of the lead scorers. And this balance that they're providing to the team is actually what's helping them, make their game a lot more competitive and really match up to the top teams that we have in the conference.
All right. Now, I know Doc and you guys have prepared some keys to winning. So let's get to it right now, starting off with the Creamline Cool Smashers. What are the specific things that they've got to do to advance once again to the finals?
Well, for me, it's basically variation in their attack strategy. Alyssa Valdez will always be a marked man for the Creamline Cool Smasher, so it's high time for the other players, especially the middles that I mentioned. As soon as the middles step up and get some spotlight off Alyssa Valdez, it will be harder for the blockers of opposing teams to actually predict where Gia will set or how she will set up their attack.
I think another thing to add to that, they are a tough attacking team. They're very strong when it comes to offense. But first things first would be their pass. And I think, when Doc AJ here said that they need to activate their other spikers, that means they need better passing so that Gia can set up better plays.
Looking at the last 3 matches of Petrogas, they're actually looking good. They swept Bangko Perlas 3-0. They beat Ateneo 3-1, but then lost to to Creamline in straight sets. Creamline is number 1 in spiking, serving, setting, and receiving. But sometimes the fans aren't satisfied with what they see. They have Coach Ty Bundit, 62-15 record as the head coach during his 5 years with the Ateneo Lady Eagles. What can we expect, or do you see any surprises that could possibly happen when Creamline plays Petrogas in the semifinals?
Well, I think with Petrogas, I think they're why they still haven't checked Eliza Valdez in that previous match. Although that they're really good at their offense, their blocking needs some work still. Like Cherry Nunag, as I mentioned, she's very reliable on the attack, but I'm yet to see her really dominate on the blocking perspective on the front line. So as soon as they get to be able to check who will Gia set and establish a good blocking pattern for their team, I think that's their best hope if they want to upset Creamline.
And I want to ask you about Chi Saet. I mean, because we have some excellent setters here in the semifinals. You have Gia Morado, you have Jem Ferrer, and then of course you have Dina Wong. But Chi Saet, she's the veteran here. 3-time UAP champion. As I said, you know her very well. What do you think she's going to come up with, knowing that she's the ate among the setters competing here in the semifinals?
Well, I think one of the main advantages of Chi, and Petrogas, is their setter is very experienced. You said that. I mean, she's had a lot of years to her name in terms of, if we call it discarte, meron siya nun. So I think that is one of their biggest advantages. She's been through a lot. She's played with a lot of players. So when the tough gets going in a game, you know that her quick decision making will, matter. It will make a difference for the team.
All right. Do you have any predictions with regards to this series, Creamline, Petrogas? Do you see it going the distance, or do you think Creamline will assert their mastery against the Angels?
Honestly, for me, I think Petrogas is roaring for a revenge, and I'm seeing like a 5-set match. They're gonna give it their all once the semifinals kicks in. And with regards to Chi Saet, if she can deliver a lot of more back row attacks, especially to Sabete and Mercado in the pipe, it's gonna be problematic for Creamline.
And
Totally agree with Petrogas being able to pull off a stretch here in the series. They are peaking at the right point, at the right time. Nothing to take away with the other teams, of course. Creamline is as strong as ever, solid lineup, but I think this will be a good matchup.
And we have to remember that in the first match of the season, Creamline actually lost in 5 sets to Petrogas. So that's something to consider.